there are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Here we go.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 707. This is your host, Danny, and joining me this week, the whole Gamertag Radio crew. We have P in the house.
What's up? How you doing, man?
Good. Everything's good, man. And also we have Paris.
How you doing? Thanks everybody at Twitch that's watching us right now and everybody that's listening to us on the podcast.
Definitely. And we have a special guest from Atari Connect. We have Michael Arzt, the CEO of over there at Atari. We're going to be talking about this, the Atari Speakerhat. Matter of fact, I'm rocking mine right here. This is the Blade Runner edition. So, Michael, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, guys. Really glad to be here, and hat looks great on you.
Awesome, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. So, let's talk about this, man. I'm a huge fan of Atari. You know, I even had Nolan Bushnell on our show this past summer. Yeah, legend. Yeah, I was talking to him because, you know, the first console that I ever had in my life was the Atari 2600. So it was an honor to have him, man. So, you know, we talked about the past, but now we're going to be talking about the future of Atari with you now. So tell us a little bit about the Atari Connect.
Well, okay, I'll tell you that every word you're hearing is actually coming through the hat. You're wearing a headphone and a mic. I'm wearing a hat, which has speakers and a mic in it. So I'm hearing you through the hat, and I'm talking to you through the hat. So it's a communication device and also plays music. But yeah, we can talk about. So when we talk about Atari Connect is all about the Atari connected lifestyle. It's taking this awesome brand that everybody loves so much and so many people grew up with, and, you know, sort of rewarding everybody for that love, and, you know, sort of paying attention to all the things that are cool and happening in gaming and geekdom, but also introducing this brand to a new generation of fans that are going to enjoy all the new devices and new products that we're working on. So the Connect division, which is the division that I'm running, is all about connected devices, and that can mean a whole bunch of different things. You know, we can't really talk about the Atari box tonight, but obviously a lot of people are hearing about that. That connects to the things that I'm working on, but it's kind of its own thing, because it kind of touches my world, but it also touches the software side, obviously. But, you know, that's an exciting thing, but better talked about on another night. The Atari Connect side of the business, like I said, is all about connected devices, which means wearables, which means things that are going to be in your home. I can't really sort of lift the covers on too many of the future things, but obviously the hat, as I'm wearing here, and, you know, the other styles that got here, are the first. It's kind of the first product in the Atari Life or Atari Connect side of the business, and you know, we've launched the website AtariLife.com, which is where you can buy the hats right now, but Atari Life is really shorthand for Atari Connected Lifestyle, and we are going to be expanding to include a whole bunch of other products that we're working on, but also bringing in a lot of the licensed products that are, you know, more lifestyle oriented. You know, so all the hats and T-shirts and plushes and games and things like that are all really fun will all come together ultimately in the Atari Life store.
So I'm in my 40s, and I grew up. Atari is what got me into gaming. And you're now talking about Atari basically branching out and being able to do other things in our connected world now, so to speak. but how important is it for you and the company to be able to use that Atari name and now introduce it to a new generation of people? Because there's obviously the younger generation, but like, Atari, what is that? We don't know what that is. Whereas an old man like me is like, hey, I remember the 2600. I remember Blade Runner. I remember all these things that were connected to Atari.
Yeah, look, I'm right there with you. I mean, first console, 2600, first game was what was that? The tank battle game, the
Combat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we all moved on, and we got Space Invaders and Centipede and Asteroids and Donkey Kong and all that other good stuff that came up through the 2600. But yeah, same as you, right? So when I came to the business, and I come from, and I've been in gaming and esports and all that for a long, long time. I've been, I came up through sort of traditional media and sports, and my clients were always the game companies, and then I got into the game business proper. And I was running the World Cyber Games 10 years ago, doing esports before esports was a thing. Then sort of sliding into, I was at Turtle Beach. I was part of the team that grew Turtle Beach from a little bitty company into a big monster, and then got caught up by the guys at Atari when they wanted me to get into the devices with them. So as I watched this whole sort of progression, I'm like a contemporary of you and you guys, right? But I have kids and I see what they're doing, and when you look at the Atari fans and potential fans age, that's sort of like the rough age that I always look at it at. So anybody like over 35 is like us, right? We all remember it from our childhood. We all grew up with it, and we all have really great memories about it. And that's one of the great things about this brand is, it's a brand that everybody knows. It's got huge recognition all around the world. And a lot of people equate the brand with just, unbelievable great memories, whether it was opening something under a tree or sitting around the family room with a bunch of friends or family and having a lot of fun. And the games are sort of evergreen, right? I mean, they're they live on, right? Everybody remembers all the classic games and really enjoys them. And then you've got sort of the under 35 crowd where some of them obviously know what Atari is, and some of them are into retro, and retro is obviously very big, and it's coming back in a big way, and a lot of things that were cool in the 80s and 90s are cool again. A lot of brands and products are being reinvented. When we talk about the Atari box, we always talk about the Atari box is like a Mini Cooper, right? The same way you had a Mini Cooper back in the 70s and 80s. You want to update it and make it new, but also maintain some of that original flavor. So the idea of the whole Atari Connected Lifestyle initiative and the Atari Connect piece of it all is to bring devices that bring fun, bring that lifestyle component into play. And obviously, we've got a brand where we're very lucky. We've got a brand, and we're probably one of the few brands in gaming that can sort of transcend pure gaming and really have credibility as a pop culture and entertainment brand. And a lifestyle brand. So, when we sort of look at the products that we're doing and we look at the products that we allow to carry our name, whether it's products that we're making ourselves or it's products that we're creating, with our license partners, we're being very careful about what we put the name on because, we care very much about this brand, but we're not going to be able to get, this younger generation to care about it the same way if we don't give them products that they're going to care about and that they're going to love and that are going to create an emotional response, which is a great segue into the Speakerhat. The Speakerhat is an experience product. It's one of these things where if you just talk about it as a hat with speakers in it, it's a baseball hat and it's got speakers. It sounds kind of goofy, right? And you can go on Amazon and you can find, goofy products that, have speakers in them. And, we basically, and look, I come from Turtle Beach, right? I mean, I worked on, some really high-end headsets while I was there, $300 Call of Duty headsets, things like that. This product is audio equipment. And Danny, how did it come packaged?
Nice little box. Actually, I should get it. I think I'll get it. But I like the box. It was really, it looked really legit, man. I was like, man, this is cool. I thought it was just gonna be like inside of a bag and that's it. No, it was like very, very cool package, man.
It was like a Beats box, right? I mean, it was like heavy duty box, sleeve. I should have grabbed one too, but yeah, I mean, it's in a sleeve. It's got the cool sticker packs in there. You know, there's a Blade Runner sticker in there. There's an Atari sticker in there. You know, nice presentation. You slide that box off, and it's one of those boxes where, like, there's that suction, like when you buy an iPhone, right? And you're trying to lift that top off, and the hat is presented there, and it's presented like high-end audio equipment that just happens to be shaped like a hat, right? So that's the approach that we're taking with this particular product. But the idea is to make products that are fun and engaging, and, you know, the best videos we've got with the hat are when we show them to people and we say, hey, put this on, and then you play the music and they're like, oh my God, where's the music coming from? And Danny, I don't know if you got a chance to play around with it with some music, but it sounds really, really good. You know, these hats, like I said, they sound goofy, but they sound goofy as a concept, but they really are very cool, and they do a lot of things that headphones don't do. They let you, obviously, you can take and make phone calls, you can listen to music, which headphones do, but you're not shutting out the world. You know, I mean, obviously there are times, look, you guys are wearing headphones right now, you're wearing cans, you want to shut out the world in certain situations, but in other situations, you know, when you're out and about, you're walking, you know, like I'll wear this hat when I'm walking the dog or riding my bike, and you can still hear the world around you. You're not going to get run over by a car because you didn't hear it coming, right? You can listen to your music. You can keep the music low, and it's a personal experience. You can make it loud, and it's like a boombox. You know, I mean, I think, you know, the fear that, you know, and I've seen some fears on social, you know, about how, you know, inconsiderate people are going to be inconsiderate no matter what. You know, so anybody who's going to blast music, whether it's with a hat or with a portable Bluetooth box or whatever, they're going to be obnoxious. It's not, you know, the hat is not the problem. The person is, right? But the beauty of this product is it sounds really good. It does a lot of cool things. We have features that are coming that we haven't, you know, unleashed yet. You know, we have like a multiplayer mode that we're going to be able to work on. And I should mention also that we developed this hat in partnership with a company called AudioWare, which is they developed the technology. They have the patent for the hat with the speakers in it and the Bluetooth connectivity. And they're the ones who are building the hats for us. And we're working really closely with them because it's very important to both AudioWare and Atari that this is not seen as, you know, kind of a goofy novelty product. We want it to be seen as, you know, a practical lifestyle product, and something that you can really enjoy. You know, it's wearable technology. It's not, you know, it's not just a hat with speakers in it. That's just, you know, too easy to dismiss.
Right. Quick question. How important was co-branding with an iconic movie that would be coming out, such as, you know, Blade Runner? I actually just saw it this past week with Danny in San Francisco, and we were amazed. How did that whole process go where you guys decided, okay, we want to co-brand with, a franchise like Blade Runner, and how did that whole process wear out?
So it's a great story. It's a little bit, you know, have you ever heard that saying, you know, the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? So that's really the story behind all this. So there was a bunch of things that were happening already, which is the preparation part, right? So we were preparing the hat. We were working on the hat. We had sort of the core designs that, you know, we've been publishing. So, you know, we've got the classic snapbacks, you know, the black and the blue snapback designs. We were working on these. We have the Fuji Blackout, which is the black on black design, you know, and this was our core collection. We got a couple of other designs that, you know, will be revealed before too long, but that was the core collection that we were working on. And, you know, there was a bunch of things going on. We were, you know, we had a really good launch in the spring of the new Roller Coaster Tycoon Touch. That was doing really well. We started, you know, finalizing the designs on the hats. We knew that the Atari box was coming. You know, the world didn't know yet, but we knew it was coming, and we were working on that. E3 was approaching, and then in the middle of May, the Blade Runner trailer drops, right? And there's this beautiful 4-second shot of the biggest, most beautiful Atari logo, in neon blue, like this hat, against black, that you've ever seen. And it's one of those things where, Atari being this iconic, recognizable brand, if you think about the age, the 35 plus crowd that I talked about before, that's who is making, movies nowadays and television shows nowadays. And we're constantly getting product placement and brand placement requests. You name it. I mean, obviously Blade Runner, which we're talking about, but, things like Ready Player One will be part of that. We'll be part of, we're part of The Walking Dead. We've been in The Goldbergs. We've been in, what's that other show? Stranger Things will be part of that. So there's all sorts of, constant requests that come into our office for, brand usage and product usage, product placement, things like that. And, just like with the licensing I was talking about, you make your decisions, you're careful. You don't want to just be in any piece of, video or, any piece of junk that somebody's producing. But obviously we knew we were part of the original Blade Runner. So way back when they first asked, we said yes. And it was one of those things where it really was kind of unexpected and beautiful in the way it all came together, because it was one of those things with that Blade Runner movie where obviously really, really intense art direction and art design. They were going to create the world. They weren't going to listen to us. Like, we had no say. We basically gave them the branding, gave them the permissions, and trusted, right? And then, like I said, that trailer came out. And it was crazy because the trailer came out and, Blade Runner, their master licensee, NECA, which makes a lot of the action stuff for all the various movies, they kept getting a ton of requests. Oh, you guys are going to do some Atari stuff, right? And of course, people were asking us, oh, you're going to do some Blade Runner stuff, right? So it all sort of came together. We called them, they called us almost at the same time, and we said, hey, let's do a swap here. And that's basically what we did. We gave them the rights to make some stuff. They gave us the rights to make some stuff. And we knew we had a great product that was perfect for it. We had a wearable tech product, and we were like, what could be better? So, we scrambled, and we turned, we created this design based on, we wanted to capture that neon blue, like in the trailer, but we also wanted to capture a little bit of flavor, make a hat that kind of looked like it belonged in the world. So we decided to go with the katakana, kanji lettering there, with the Japanese lettering, Atari, because, that's a big part of that Blade Runner world. And, and then just, started building this particular design top secret. And then E3 came, and, that was two or 3 weeks after that trailer, and we announced the Atari box. And I think, we probably got more press than Xbox X did, right? I mean, people were going nuts for the Atari box. It was crazy. We didn't expect it to be that big, but it was huge. And we were really, again, thankful. But it was, once again, all these things happened because we were prepared. We had things going on. So the opportunities came along, and we were prepared for them. Fast forward another month from June to July, we went and, we had struck up this relationship with Blade Runner, so we got involved with Blade Runner, and they had their big San Diego Comic-Con unveil. They did that Blade Runner experience in the gas plant. And we did a bunch of video there with influencers and things, and just kind of use that as yet another opportunity and a springboard to announce Speakerhat and announce the big way. We got a ton of really positive, really excited press, and again, it was all working together really, really well. And then obviously, fast forward to a couple weeks ago, obviously the movie was about to come out. Participated in the press junket that they did in LA, and we were giving away information sheets and non-Speakerhat hats to reporters and people at the junket. And then of course we unveiled the Speakerhat. We worked with Hip Hop Gamer, and who was a great ambassador for a product like this. And we unveiled that in conjunction with the movie, and put them on sale last week, and they've been selling, and they've been selling like crazy. And look, I'll be the first to admit they're not inexpensive. They're Blade Runner one is $139.99. The standard ones are $129.99. Obviously we want to get the price down eventually, but for right now we're really happy, and obviously the product holds up. I mean, it's a quality product. We're going to start sending them out to reviewers and get them out there for unboxings and things. And I'm not worried at all about it. Like I said, I spent 6 years at Turtle Beach working on audio, and I know this is a quality audio product, so I'm not worried at all about the reviews. They're going to be really good, and the product's not for everyone, but if you can appreciate the product, you're going to love it. If you understand what it's for and you understand how you can use it, it's great for streamers, right? I'm talking to you guys. It sounds good. You don't have to wear the cans here, and you can eat, and it works really well. But it sounds great listening to music. Like I said, and people are using them. We're seeing the videos show up on Twitter and places like that, and on Facebook. Guys are jogging with them, and guys are using them to talk on Skype and on Twitch and on streams and things. So, it's all good. I think it's just a matter of getting that product out there. And, like I said, I mean, trolls are going to be trolls and the haters are going to be haters. But the people who like it are going to like it a lot, and that's really what it boils down to. I mean, there's always going to be people who are going to be, talking trash. But you know what? I'd rather be talking. It's the old. There's no such thing as bad publicity, right? At least people are passionate. If they're passionate because they like the thing, or they're passionate because they don't like it, at least they're talking about it. I would be really worried if they weren't talking about us, right? That would be the ultimate, scare for me. Is like, oh crap, they're not talking about Atari. They're not talking about our hats. They're not talking about it, But luckily, they are. And look, I mean, I think there's a lot of things, like I said, happening with the Atari brand and with our various products, both digital and physical. And, it's a pretty exciting time to be working for Atari. I'm really, again, for me, it's also luck, right? I was prepared. I had the timing was right when they gave me a call, and I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, man. Now, I know Paris and P, you guys are always working out. I think this is like perfect for you guys. It's like, while working out, instead of wearing headphones, you just wear the hat, man. Listen to your music.
More guilty that I couldn't get a couple more out.
Nah, don't worry about that. It's all good. So how long is the battery life on this? Because, today I've been charging this the whole time. And then earlier today I went out and, the quality was really good, man, while listening to like music and stuff, man. But how long is the battery life on this?
They're saying it's about 6 to 8 hours, but don't quote me on that. I don't want to be, but it's pretty good. I mean, I've used them for a long time, and I they come charged out of the box, and you can usually get a couple hours out of them right out of the box, and then I charge it overnight, and I've gone days on end without recharging. So I'm not using it constantly, and I assume using it this way where I'm talking a lot versus just listening, it's probably using more battery than others. I think it depends on the use, but I think I'd like to think that 6 to 8 hours is a fair amount, but could be more, could be less. I'm still learning.
Mileage may vary.
Now, another question that I have too is gaming wise, like how can this will work for gaming?
It'll work great. It'll hook up, anything that's got Bluetooth, PC or mobile is great. Obviously PlayStation has like their proprietary Bluetooth, so it doesn't work with that unless we go out and we get, we decide we want to make a PlayStation hat, which could happen. And then Xbox doesn't have Bluetooth for anything other than the controller. So, that's not probably going to work there. But anything that's Bluetooth, it'll work. And like you can get these dongles on Amazon. So anything that has like a jack, you can plug it into if you don't have Bluetooth. But yeah, I mean, it works. It works with a lot of things. Like I said, anything that's Bluetooth. But yeah, like I said, using it for streaming or Skyping, or any of the chat, any of the communication programs, it'll work with all that stuff.
Yeah, or listening to our podcast, that would be great too. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, actually, because I love to go back to the branding. I know you're not talking about the Atari box or any of the other stuff today, but you've obviously hinted at future products coming from Atari. So as I'm listening to you talk about this, the thing that kept running through my head is what is the vision 10 years from now? What does the roadmap look like 10 years from now? Do you envision this to be a brand that would rival something, or is it at least inspiring to have this brand rival something like a Logitech or a Samsung or an LG, so that when I walk in a store and I see that Atari name on a particular product, I know that's something I can trust. I know that's something that potentially could be innovative, and that's something that I'm going to be interested in and want to check out compared to your potential competitors.
In a word, yes. Yes, I mean, obviously, look, the idea, though, like at least with the product, with the hardware product that I'm working on, the objective is not to be, the best, most expensive, most, technologically advanced. The objective is to be something that is fun and that is something that our target audience will appreciate and enjoy having. The quality has to be there. I mean, don't get me wrong. Quality is important. But, look, I could have made this hat a $300 hat, but that makes no sense, right? The idea is to create products that are fun, that are, applied to different lifestyle and entertainment applications, and associate the brand with, that type of associate the brand with the pop culture that has now evolved since the brand first came up back in the 70s, right? The idea is to acknowledge that, look, it's not just about gaming, right? It's about all this stuff. I mentioned, so entertainment things like movies and TV and, and Hulu and Netflix and all that stuff, right, is all, part of it. And then, you got, comic book movies and Blade Runner and Pacific Rim and, you name it, all this stuff that has sort of become part of like the pop culture type of entertainment that, the under 35 audience is engaged in. And then you think about some of the things, like I know what some of the products we're working on are. So there's more wearables, there's some connected home things, but they're the kind of things that, again, they work with gaming, but they work with other parts of entertainment too, and work with computers and work with, televisions and different things that, but it all comes back to sort of that entertainment lifestyle, pop culture lifestyle, sort of gamer and geek lifestyle that we're trying to represent. And then it's, things like, like I said, the license stuff, the T-shirts and the hats and the stuffed centipedes and all the other, and the keychains and the wallets and all the other stuff that, that people find fun, or, that people kind of want to identify with. What's great about the Atari brand is, if you're wearing it, you're sort of self-identifying and saying, hey, I'm a gamer, and I'm kind of a cool gamer, and I've been a gamer for a long time, and it's part of me. And that's kind of what our brand represents. The brand represents fun and good times, and it works for this kind of pop culture lifestyle positioning that we're trying to build out.
Yeah, I was I'm curious because I know you said that, you guys are looking for, you're looking towards other things, other wearables or fashion accessories and stuff like that. I'm just curious if, can we see like a Centipede or a Pac-Man related hat? Pretty sure that those are all trade secrets. So I'm just curious if you have other things coming down the pipe using other iconic Atari, franchises.
We do. We moved some things out of the way when the Blade Runner thing came along, but there are. I'll give you some clues. There are some anniversaries coming. There are some franchises that have been reborn that are doing very well. There are some others that are about to be reborn. The great thing about Atari is we've got, the Fuji and our umbrella brand, but we've also got great franchises, that we were just talking about. And, the same way that, a franchise like Centipede can be reimagined as a really good comic book, right? I don't know if you guys have seen the Centipede comic book, or, that IDW can take, I'm going to keep using Centipede as an example, can take Centipede, but also Asteroids, a couple of others, and turn them into really good board games. It just takes a little bit of imagination and a little love and appreciation for the brand and for the franchise to spin it out and do some cool things with it. So again, the answer to your question is yes, there will be more designs. And, we're always going to have like sort of the core ones, like the ones I held up before with the logos, but then we'll also always do sort of these limited editions like the Blade Runner, like some of the others that are coming. And, hopefully it works sort of like sneaker drops, right? Where like, you can create an excitement about a hat that's only going to be around for a little while, and then it goes away. And then even something like, like the blue one, like maybe this goes away for a little while and, we do a red one or we do a green one or, whatever, or you just change it a little bit, right? It becomes, I don't know, maybe, you do Michigan colors or something, right? You do navy and corn, right? So it's like you do things, you create a demand, you make them special. There's things that we can do to improve the hats. We obviously can get the price down. With all that stuff is, coming. This is, it's a great product that, I think has a lot of directions we can go. Plus, there's a lot of other partnerships out there as well. So things that, we have our franchises, and then we have, a lot of people that we're talking to out there in the world that, pretty darn good and appropriate on a hat, right? So, but, obviously the Atari brand gives it some credibility if you go to certain partners and put their mark on the front. You'll put an Atari thing on the side, and then you do a co-branded piece. This one happens. The Blade Runner one happens to, get the Fuji on the front because that's sort of how it appears in the movie. But there's other franchises that we would do that might be a little bit different.
So is this also waterproof, washable? How's that going to work?
Well, look, it's not. Like, I wouldn't throw it in the washing machine, but it's obviously cleanable. It's a quality hat. The hat is on par with, a $40 New Era hat, right? It comes out of, the hat part comes out of the same factories as, the top hat company hats. But we are working on it. It's not fully waterproof, but obviously it is protected. There is some plastic in there, things like that. Don't submerge it. But, obviously, I wouldn't wear it in a thunder, in a downpour, but, a little sprinkle is not going to hurt it, I don't think. Okay. But we are working on different things. There's modularity ideas. There is waterproofing ideas. We had a great idea from someone, I don't know if they were Twitter or Facebook or whatever, but, someone asked about, doing, cruelty-free hats, so like doing a snapback like this guy that, doesn't have any wool, doesn't have any cotton, is all synthetic. So things like that are interesting, and we'll explore all that stuff. And I think a lot of that, could get dictated by some of the partnerships that we do too, as well. So, there are other brands that we're talking to. There are sports properties and leagues that we're talking to. There are other entertainment franchises we're talking to. There's a lot of directions you can go with this. And obviously, pardon the pun, but I don't want to tip my hat.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Cool. So for more information, Michael, you can mention the website. People could go and check it out.
Yeah, the place to go for the Atari Speakerhat is AtariLife.com. All of our social is Atari Life. So, Twitter and Facebook, Atari Life, Instagram, Atari Life, everything's Atari Life.
Awesome. All right, but thanks a lot, man, for coming over here.
Yes,
and
thank you.
We'll talk some more in the future, man, for sure.
I would like that, and look, I'll be happy to give you guys some scoops on some of the new things that are coming. It'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah.
Thanks,
No problem.
I think the job of being a teacher is so rewarding in so many ways.
The connection between you and the whole class, that's still unbeatable.
When my pupils are successful, it feels incredible.
I think the greatest thing for me is seeing the pupils that I teach love the subject as much as I do.
I don't think there's any other job where you get the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
At LV, our car insurance comes from the heart. That's why we've just launched our new multi-car cover. One policy and one renewal date means it's one simple way for you to save on your family's cars. So just imagine how much you can save by insuring 2, 3, or even more cars with us. To get your exclusive multi-car discount from the Which Insurance Provider of the Year 2017, go direct to lv.com. T's and C's apply. Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
Game on. Don't miss a second of NFL on CBS. With CBS All Access, subscribers can stream their local market games live and get full game day coverage on TV-connected devices, like the Xbox One, of course, and tablets. From Thursday night football to Sunday doubleheaders, we have all your NFL on CBS excitement covered. CBS All Access subscribers can also stream over live events like special award shows, news, and more. And just like me, I'm a fan of Big Brother. I've been watching that. And also I've been going back to the past seasons and also watching Star Trek Discovery, all on CBS All Access. And get access to over 9,000 current and classics episodes. Start your free trial right now. All you have to do is go to cbs.com/NFL. GTR listeners, one more time, free trial. Take advantage of this. Go right now to cbs.com/NFL.
I mean, I guess I'll talk about this. You know, it's been a little slow with gaming right now. I think we're kind of in that calm before the storm. But I've noticed that it looks like Microsoft is starting to send out Xbox One X's to people, you know, to like reviewers and things like that. And I haven't watched the video yet, but I know I think it's Hardware Canucks. They're doing a teardown of the Xbox One X. So it's just that reminder that it's getting close. You know, it's starting to get close. It's almost here. And the reason I bring that up is, and I'm sure I'll get slapped on the hand by someone listening to this, that, you know, our good friend Marsha over at the Mommy Gamers, she was talking about how she's not going to be able to get one at launch. You know, she's going to have to get one later. So I responded to her and I said, it's probably better to wait until next year anyways, when we'll actually start seeing games come out for it that can take full advantage of the, you know, the power of the Xbox One X. So I'm going to throw it to you, Danny, since you're getting one at launch. Is that a correct statement? Should people get it right now, or do you think it'd be better off if they wait till next year?
I think it depends on who you're talking to. Like her, she's just a fan of Xbox, so I can see why she wants to get it day one. But if it's someone that is just like debating, like, I don't know if I should, they could wait until next year. You know, it depends on who you're talking to. Like Marsha, I know that from the Mommy Gamers, make sure to go over there to her Twitch channel. She's there every morning streaming and stuff. Shout out to her. But she's a huge Xbox fan, like huge. So I know why she's kind of disappointed about not getting the console on day one. But you know, others, hey, they could wait. You're not. It's like it's still gonna be there. You could buy it next year. Maybe it will be cheaper even next year. Who knows?
Well, that's kind of my thinking. I mean, if you already have an Xbox One S, yeah, you're going to miss out on 4K. But next year, like I said, you'll see more games start to come out for it, some exclusive titles that'll probably take better advantage of the actual power of the Xbox One X. So I don't, and this is obviously I'm just speaking for me personally because I'm not getting one this year. I don't see the need to rush out to go get one. Hey, if you got one pre-order and you get it, God bless you. Knock yourself out. Enjoy the 4K that you're going to get from it. But like I said, I think like when we're sitting at the Galen Center next E3, that's when you'll start to see games where you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know it could do this. You know what I mean? I think that's when you're really going to start to see it. Because part of it, what made me start thinking about that was I noticed CD Projekt Red just put out the patch on the PS4 Pro for The Witcher 3. And then obviously I know the Xbox One X is going to get a patch for it, which is kind of the theme for this holiday with a lot of these games. It's, let's update an older game to be able to take advantage of Xbox One X. But like I'm saying, I want to see Halo 6 or Crackdown 3, obviously, when that comes out, or whatever exclusive games that they're going to have for Xbox One X next year. Those are going to be the games that are probably really going to start to take advantage of it.
Do you see like third-party companies taking advantage of this too?
Of course they will, but just like I brought up PS4 Pro, they have to develop for the least common denominator, right? That's going to be PS4 Pro. We've talked about this in the past. There'll be instances where you'll see developers put in that extra effort to actually squeeze out as much power as they possibly can out of the Xbox One X. But majority of the time, they're going to just make sure, let's get the PS4 Pro version working. And then, obviously we know the Xbox One X version is working. And if we have time left over or resources, maybe they can squeeze some extra power out of it. But I'm just assuming that's not going to be the norm. That'll be a rarity.
Pete?
I don't know. I'm still on the fence about whether I'm gonna even bother to get it. I hope for the best for them. I'm not. I think it's a right time for them to do this. It's time for Microsoft to get away from. I don't want to say the bad publicity, but I'd say all the negative connotations that Microsoft got a lot of. From the moment that Xbox One came out till today. So, hey, I'm gonna say shout out to Arctic Warlocks, our mod on Twitch and on our Discord server. He won one from the Taco Bell promotion. So he's one that isn't a Microsoft, Xbox console owner. So things like that, their Taco Bell initiative and all their advertising they're doing with Taco Bell, Doritos and Mountain Dew or something like that. They pulled all of those from the competitors. It looks like they're going in the right direction now, hopefully. And right now, I think the games/tech will help foster that. But I'm gonna agree with Paris on this one and say give it a little bit of time, because you don't want to. I don't know if you want to be on that first gen bus anymore these days with the way things have gone with most. And it's not just the Microsoft. I mean, PlayStation's had it, it's something that you always need to be cognizant of with new tech. So, I mean, I still have an Xbox One in my living room. I mean, it's the last time.
And you're getting Battlegrounds for that, right?
Yeah, I'm getting Battlegrounds to play with friends.
Actually, we should play too, Pete. You got to show me.
I'll be down. Hey, I would love to. Man. I know you picked it up on Steam and tried to use it on your Mac, and it didn't work out too well on Boot Camp and all that. Again, it is a CPU intensive thing. So running it in Boot Camp probably not the best thing. But yeah, I'm definitely going to pick it up. I'd love to Sherpa you through that, on that, and hopefully get you some chicken dinners.
Yeah, definitely, man. That'll be cool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Because look, today I just got a couple games. Actually, yesterday I received the. Can't talk about it just yet.
You weren't supposed to even say that.
Oh.
No. Okay. Whatever.
Wow.
I totally forgot. So I got the Shadow of War game. Shadow of War game. That one is.
Wait, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
Well, maybe you need to reach out to a certain Warner Brothers executive, or person in marketing.
Yeah. Well, but I'm getting that. But actually, I'm just curious to see how those games are going to look how that's going to look in 4K officially.
Well, we know how Shadow of War looks. We saw it. We saw it at PAX.
We saw it. But to me, I hope it doesn't look like that in 4K.
This late in development, that's how it looks, Danny. There's no miracle 4K button that they're going to press. So like, okay, it's October. Now it looks better. They're not doing that.
So now I'm going to counter you on that one, Paris. So when the three of us played it at PAX, at that Microsoft Taco Bell event, it didn't look like it should have. You know, they had the Samsung TVs and the whole nine on those kits. We know that games are played in beta or alpha format, but sometimes they've got less artifacts or less assets in the game than they normally should, right? So I know that we've done this with, I know that they've done it for like the Titanfall betas and alphas and stuff like that, where they launch those with 50% less assets. Do you think what we played had less assets, or do you think that was, that they threw the entire asset pack in there?
Okay. I'm gonna answer your question with a question.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That event was meant to get influencers and people that would go out on social media and talk about, hey, Taco Bell promotion, Xbox One X, Shadow of War, right? So why would you put in front of them a game that did not have final assets or very near to final assets? You want to show it in the best light possible, right?
Yes.
Okay, you answered your question. That's the game, Danny.
Oh man, so I guess it's not gonna look. It's not gonna look like Forza.
But at the same time, that's okay though, as long as the game's amazing and it plays fantastic. Who cares?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's true. And I'm always pushing that who cares about the whole 4K? But hey, I'm just saying, now I don't know. We'll see once the Xbox One X comes out, man. I'm very curious about that.
And let me be clear, since I know I'm labeled, even though I hate it that people say this to me, I'm labeled the angry, salty person. I want Microsoft to succeed. I want the Xbox One X to be a huge hit. I want the Xbox One X to make me have to make life decisions, to make me reconsider what I'm doing. To go, man,
PowerPoint presentation.
Be like, man, now I know I could play it on my PC, but man, I think I really want to play this in my living room. I want to have that conversation with myself. I want to have the conversation where you guys look at our bank statement and go, Paris, why did you just spend $500 at Best Buy? What did you just buy? And I go, none of your damn business. That's what I just bought. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to have. So, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna see Paris at E3 sweating like, oh man, I think this is the holiday. This is it. This is it.
but that's the point. Yeah. That's kind of why I said from the get-go, the hardware is amazing. There's not even a question about the hardware of the Xbox One X. I mean, it is literally, as they have advertised, the most powerful console we've ever seen, and it's honestly not close. If you look at it from a technical standpoint. Mm-hmm. It just comes back to the games. End of the day. That's all it comes back to. And when I say the games, I'm not talking third-party stuff, because third-party you can play on a PC or a PlayStation. I'm talking games and experiences I can only have on the Xbox. That's what they got to nail in 2018. And if they don't, then they'll have this amazingly powerful piece of hardware, but Sony's going to continue to outsell them 2-1. And that's just reality.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, we're gonna take a short break, and after this, we're gonna play Steep event, Pete. Right? Road to the Olympics.
Yep.
We're gonna play that on our podcast, so we'll be right back after this.
Not me, because if I'd have got on the plane, it wouldn't have taken off.
Not Paris. Paris was too cool to show up with us. He's like, man, I don't want to show up with Pete and Godfrey and Danny.
After my last airport experience, I was too afraid to even go. I just stayed home.
Oh my God.
Back on the scene. This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
All right, Pete. So we're here checking out Steep Road to the Olympics, and we have a guest, right?
That's correct. We have, and I apologize if I butcher your name, Arnaud Ragot.
Nice.
Wow. All right. Cool. So first, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then let's go into Steep Road to the Olympics.
Okay, so I'm the game director of Steep, and I'm here from the beginning. So I've been on the main game, and now I'm on this expansion. And so basically, I'm oversee everything about design and content in the game.
I know it's been a year since the release of the game, and what are the changes your team has been working on since?
One of our main focus since the release has been to work with the community to understand what they need. So we work with them. We even invite some of them to come to France and discuss with them. And so it defines kind of our focuses. So at the beginning, we had to focus on the freestyle experience. And then they all asked for some for more creative tools, some for more maps. So that's what drive our production focus during the year, yes.
So talking the Olympics, we're talking in the Asia area. I know the original game was set in, you guys have the mountains outside of your office. I remember when we spoke at E3 last year. Were you able to go to Korea and Japan, I believe, to get a visual of what the mountains look like? Did Ubisoft give you that opportunity?
No, sadly, no. First, Korea, because the site is still work in progress. But in Japan, we have a local studio there, and some people of this studio came to Annecy and help us understanding what we are doing right about the Japan, what we are doing wrong. So it helped us a bit. But the rest is more about all our researches, how it feels, the video, internet, the picture, etc., to make sure it feels right.
Great. So one of the things you mentioned in your presentation earlier was that it's not an extreme sports game, that you guys are trying to steer the direction of the game more towards an open world experience. Tell me about your what drove the decision to make it something outside of just the standard extreme sports game and try to make this an open world experience.
So actually, it's not it's more than an action sports game. By that, we discovered that as soon as we added new sports into the experience, it's take a whole new direction, and it's opening new perspective over how we can have fun in the mountains. So for us, it's not anymore being too focused on ski, snowboard, or paraglide or wingsuit, but more expanding our horizons to make sure we can find all the ways we can have fun in the mountain. And Steep Road to the Olympics is the first example of that.
I know this also is coming up for the Switch. It's on the Switch. Is it going to be the same type of content too for those that haven't played the game yet?
So for sure it will share the same DNA, but those type of details I can't share them today. But it's still in the work, and but at the moment we are really focused on Road to the Olympics.
Okay. And this is the first time you're also adding story mode in this, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
So that's more something that came to us. As I said, it's we met the athletes. They shared with us so many cool little stories. So we wanted to share that with our players. So we were wondering how we can include storylines in the game. We have already some small stories with the mountain stories, but here it was the point of putting different stories all together to have a coherent storyline. So we'll give more details in the future, but definitely it will be something new in Steep experience following this storyline and having a real motivation to see where it leads you.
Yeah.
Want to know, how was it coming about with an Olympics-driven competition type? Because in some of the gameplay we were doing, it varies based on the style of, let's say, slalom. Where in some kinds of slaloms you can touch the flags, but in others you're not allowed to. Were you guys being able to draw upon the experiences of Olympic competitors, or was that something that you had to do research on?
It's so we started with researches, but actually we quickly realized that we don't get all the tiny details we need to nail this experience. So we decided to meet with athletes. And as soon as they came on site, or as soon as we fly over to meet them, we realized that they bring so much in terms of information, in terms of details, in terms of expertise to help us moving forward in the design of those sports, that it has been such a value for us. And that's working with them that we can put in the game all these tiny details that make each of the sports of the event really unique.
And what has been the reactions from the Olympic competitors that have been able to put input in? Because typically they're not the ones that are, kind of focused on or are able to give the outline or the backgrounds of their experiences as being Olympic competitors. What has their reactions been like?
They've been really excited by the process. Us, we were really, it's kind of an honor to meet those athletes, but they have been really humble and really happy to help us. They were really also excited to discover what's behind the scene when it comes to create a video game. So that's been a really cool collaborative situation.
Yeah, one thing I noticed is the mountains in Japan totally different than the other mountains, and I was failing big time. I was falling everywhere trying to figure that out. But tell us a little bit about that, like the changes you made, like for example the mountains in Japan too.
So for us, when we decided to add Japan, it was clear that we need to deliver something that feels different than Alps and Alaska. So we were wondering which direction, but Japan has some obvious landscape that you want to reproduce. Obviously, you have the volcanoes, you have the huge deep powder field. So we wanted to nail that, and we wanted to add some extreme touches to that with really bigger slopes, bigger rocks, so that you can have a really impressive jumps. So our point was, we can push the freeride to a new direction, and Japan is our answer about that.
All right, so I need some advice because I'm trying to beat my record because I've been racing the whole time. So what advice you would tell me for example, if I want to try to get the gold? Because so far I already got the bronze medals, but I want to get the gold, man. I'm trying to figure that out, man. So
the point, I think, is obviously you have to spend time understanding and learning the tracks, but the real mastery come into the input. So you should not push the stick too much on the left or on the right. It's really soft touches, really balancing the pressure you are putting on the stick.
Yeah, because if I press it too much, it will basically stop
or drift, and you can lose speed.
Okay,
so
all right, good.
Just really playing with that.
So, in case we haven't covered it, so there's slalom. Let's just go over the additions to the game itself, because I don't think we've talked about that. So, we have slalom. We have competitive or parallel slalom, so it's
for snowboard. Yes.
Are you're racing a ghost, or you're racing another competitor? I know my favorite has been snowboarding, and the only reason I say it's favorite is because it's the only one I'm actually doing well at. What are the other other competencies that have been brought into Road to the Olympics?
So we had big air. It's really how you can master the tricks and make sure you can land the biggest trick on one jump. We have half pipe, and it's about chaining tricks in the pipe. This is one really spectacular, and we put a lot of effort to improve the half pipe experience overall, that means even in the Alps. And then we introduced for the first time slope style. So slope style is a mix of tricks, but also we included the rails and grind gameplay. That's something that was missing from the original game, that the community has requested a lot, and we put it in this expansion. So it open up a new range of tricks in the experience. So there is a lot of depth to explore to improve your performance. So that was for freestyle. But then for half pipe, we have downhill, we have giant slalom, we have slalom, and we have super G. And we even also added 3 other sports. So we have giant parallel slalom in snowboard, which is a kind of really spectacular race against another opponent. And then we have ski and border cross. These one are really cool because you are basically fighting against 3 other opponents in a race with a lot of bumps. So it's super fun to play, yes.
And one other thing that I know has been real key from the beginning was your support of content creators with the ability to record and go with different viewpoints. Have you made any changes to that part of the game?
Yes, so and that's one example we had with working with the community. So we try to understand what are their needs when it comes to create content. So I think few months after the release of the game, we added more camera, more option into the replay, so that they have more freedom into creating videos, and we plan future improvements with them in the near future also.
I want to go back to the story. I know you can't say much, but how was it working on that in a game like this, like the world is pretty big. So was that challenging for you guys to work on that?
I think yes, it has been a challenge because we are a game where we really want players to have the freedom to do anything, and story, it's drive players following several specific steps. So we were wondering how we can mix that together. And obviously you will keep all the freedom to do whatever you want, but whenever you want, we can pick up a next step in the story and move forward in your path to this objective. The point was to create a strong motivation for the players and then kind of driving throughout different content we have selected to build this story.
All right. Anything else? I think
I just wanted to know when can we expect the release of Road to the Olympics?
So Road to the Olympics will be released on December the 5th this year.
Congrats. It was a lot of fun. Very challenging. Very challenging, but it was a lot of fun, though.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail 786-2737-GTR.
Has anyone played Fortnite Battle Royale yet? Peter?
Yes, I have.
I didn't ask you. I asked Peter.
Nope.
Wow. Nope. You said
no.
Has anybody?
I know. No. All jokes aside. I mean, have you played it? I mean, how do you like it?
No. I haven't. I have not.
Now I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Danny because Danny.
Oh, God damn it! Make up a goddamn mind, man. You keep switching up.
You switching. Man. Oh man. Yeah, I played it. It looks fun. I just don't see myself playing in a long time. I prefer the other game that you could play single player and multiplayer. Battle Royale for that, I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But there's people that do like it. I think right now they have, in just 2 weeks, thanks to the press release from Bluehole, 10 million already people registered already playing that game.
Yeah, and how many people are still playing it now? We're going to go there now because now you
okay.
You done.
Pete, here's the thing.
You got me in my feelings. You're talking about Play Unknown.
No, but okay. How long Battlegrounds been around?
Since April.
Okay, how long been Fortnite been around? Been a couple, not even 2 months. Not even 2 months.
But so Fortnite
you gotta
isn't all that relevant anymore. I don't want to say Fortnite's not relevant anymore, but there was a blip on the overall map because I remember just a couple of weeks ago you were like, oh, they're gonna overtook for like a day on one night on the number of people that were playing or watching Player Unknown's Battlegrounds versus Fortnite Battle Royale. Now they're nowhere even now on the list. So
no, time out, Pete.
Let's not try to make that
wasn't. I've never said that they were going to be more popular than Battlegrounds. I've never said that. What I said is for them sending that stupid press release talking about, oh, you guys are copying us. You're basically promoting that game, and it's helped them to reach now 10 million registered players now because of that. If it wasn't for that, it would have been, yeah, they got a couple millions there and that's it, but not 10 million.
But how many of those are still playing the game?
Pete, that wasn't the conversation, what I was telling you. I said they're right now number one that day because of that, because of the controversy, because of Bluehole promoting it. They promoted that game. They promoted that feature.
Yeah,
they promoted that mode. It's the truth.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bluehole is the one to blame that they got so much early buzz about this and got 10 million people. But at the same time, like Pete is alluding to, I highly doubt they're retaining 10 million people that'll be playing this game.
Right. That's why I said it's a blip. It's a small sample size against, the giant that is PUBG now. Right. And I know that there have been some industry, analysts that are saying that it's been on the decline. But if you look at the numbers don't lie. Right. Some people are showing specific stats. I'm not going to throw out names or anything, but some specific, some analysts are saying that, PUBG overall is in decline. But if you look at the numbers, they are still growing by leaps and bounds on overall numbers nightly. They went from 1.7 to over 2 million players at one point in time in a 1 day period. You're growing 300,000 in a day or two. You can't compare that.
Question. And I'm totally stealing this from IGN Unlocked because they had this conversation, I think, last week talking about PUBG. It's coming to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
In the short term, it's going to be a massive hit. I don't think there's any question about that. Are we still talking about PUBG 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Do you think it will have lasting? It'll last. It'll have sustainability. Even, because I'm sure there'll be new maps and obviously that coming out, but will it be able to hold this mass appeal that it has right now? Or as we see more and more copycats come along the way, will that take away from the core experience? And I'm asking you as if you work for them, but you play it damn long enough, so you might as well.
I might as well get a check for as much as I talk about and play the game, right? I honestly think so. I think it's the evolution of the battle royale system. You've already seen the growth of it going from Arma to DayZ to H1Z1 to PUBG. I think it has that lasting opportunity. So I really do. And if it doesn't, then, I'll admit that I was wrong and go back to playing playing whatever's new and hot and catches my fancy. But for right now, I do think that they've got the right recipe for success. Hopefully they get rid of the hackers in China because those Asian servers are death. But I think between the current rate of development, the way that they're iterating and optimizing the game, all of this additional, whatever revenue they got from this contract with Microsoft, to help them and so on and so forth. Plus, you're going to be adding on hundreds of thousands of people playing on Xbox One X or Xbox One. Dude, you've got a really, really good opportunity with this game. We've already seen and heard from Brendan Green saying that yes, it's one of their goals in their timeline to go towards esports. We've seen some of the things on esports invitationals, whether it was the Intel Extreme from what was it, Gamescom. They had the invitational and people were watching it on Twitch and stuff like that. So it has an opportunity. And yes, in the grand scheme of things, it's the baby right now when you're talking esports between League of Legends, etc., Call of Duty, and so on and so forth. Yes, it's the baby, but it's growing by leaps and bounds. And if they can continue going in that route, they absolutely have a chance.
What do you think, Danny? I think I'm a moderator now. I don't know what I'm doing, but go ahead, Danny.
Thanks.
Do you think? Yeah, being you today.
I think it all depends the type of updates that they have, or if there's a bigger game comes out in 2 years that's gonna take away the attention from all the games that are getting all the attention now. That's possible too, man. Because look, honestly, last year, whoever thought about Battlegrounds 2 years ago, or when Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out, like nobody was even thinking about that. There's always going to be new games comes out every year or two that's going to get a lot of attention from the gamers, man. So we'll see. I mean, if they update this all the time, then yeah. And who knows, maybe this will come out on the PlayStation 4. Maybe on the Switch.
We know that there was an article the other day that mentioned it, that I believe that they had started talks with Sony. You throw that in there. Who knows? Maybe we might even see Paris on the console version because we know he's not going to be on the PC version.
Okay, first of all, don't say that, because how dare you make such a reference to me? Secondly, see, Danny, this is how we know Pete doesn't listen to the podcast when he's not on it, because we literally had this discussion when he wasn't on a podcast. See?
Yeah, we did.
So I'm just putting that out there. But you can go ahead with that, Pete. But on the real, all jokes aside, I think for this to reach mass appeal, it can't just be an Xbox exclusive on the console. It will have to come to PlayStation. And like you said, I'd love to see it on a Switch too. I think that would actually be an interesting concept to be able to have PUBG mobile, being able to play it on a Switch. But if it's truly going to reach that mass appeal, though, it's got to go true third party across consoles.
Do you think it's possible for them to work on this on the Switch?
I don't think so.
Hey, Hey, let's put it this way. I bet you they'd love to try. But if it was up to Microsoft and their war chest, that'll never happen.
They were like, hell no, I want you to stay here. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible. From a technical perspective, I don't think that the Switch has the CPU or whatnot to handle a game like that. Is it out of the realm of possibility? I'm not going to say it's 100% no.
I mean, I could mention games right now that I'm like in shock that's coming up for the Switch. Doom.
And how many years has that game been under development for the Switch?
6 months.
That's yeah.
And and the size of their development staff and in comparison to
What? Okay, you guys keep calling me salty, and I'm looking right into the camera, Twitch fam. Y'all call me salty. Pete is on fire today. Anything we talk about, he is just negative as hell. Everything. Nah, that ain't working on dope. You ain't taking my game and putting it on the damn Switch. No.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's funny. And plus, Elder Scrolls.
What did you just say?
Did I say what? Did I say Elder Scrolls? Dude, what I just said.
I don't know when you said Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls.
Oh,
I don't even know what game that is.
No, but honestly, Oblivion.
I'm sorry. The Twitch chat. We got to acknowledge the Twitch chat. Someone just said Edward Scrolls.
That's good. That's good. Look at that. We got Edward Scrolls. We got Edgar Scrolls. What else we have here? Edgar Pooh.
Oh my god. Oh, that hurt my chest.
That was good.
Funny.
That was good.
This
You gotta leave that in. You gotta leave that in.
Oh my god. And this is what happens when you're on the front page of Twitch. Oh man, this is hilarious. Too funny, man. Egg rolls.
I don't even know what we're talking about at this point. Changing subjects, Nintendo Switch. The more I see a Mario Odyssey, the more that, my God, that just might be the game of the year. It might be. This might be the definitive Mario 3D platformer. It's just, I think they're taking it to another level with what they've shown so far. I'm super excited for it.
Have you seen the musical promo commercial?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yes.
dude! It's really good.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to me this morning. I turned on my Nintendo Switch. I'm like, let's see what's going on. You know, I checked out the eShop and everything. And I'm like, there's a couple people. There's a couple people playing. Let me see who's on. And I had like 3 people playing Mario Odyssey right now. I was like, I gotta wait a couple more weeks.
Well, you can play Edward Squalls. What are you waiting?
Edward. Oh my god, that's a good one. That's a classic. It's classic. Nothing tops Let Me Dream. Nothing's gonna top that though. Let's be real.
I have no more words. I don't know. Do we want to continue the show? Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, we can continue.
Actually, we're at the hour mark. All right, yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Head over to gamertagradio.com. Post your comments and feedback. Also, you can find us on different places: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and other podcast directories. Check us out. Share with your friends if you can. Review us on iTunes and all that if you can. That will help us big time. Also, watch us live on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/GamerTagRadio. Follow us over there, too. All right, until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.